plaintiff's 1305 and use this demonstrative, you can publish to the jury. Mr. 𝘬𝘪𝕤, we're going to go ahead and play the demonstrative that you prepared, and then after the jurors had a chance to see it, if you want to explain to them what the demonstrative shows, that would be great.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you publish it? No, this. So, Mr. 𝘬𝘪𝕤, what was depicted in that video?
The same photo treated two different ways. One was marked with the original with the operating system from an iPhone, which is iOS 9.3.1 on that particular photo. The one, this is 9.3.1. There is a graphic below indicating it. The second photo is marked Photos 3, and it looks quite a bit different.
And just, Tom, could we pull up defendant 708? Mr. 𝘬𝘪𝕤, does the image in defendant 708 appear to be similar, same photo as what was depicted in your demonstrative?
Actually it's the Photos 3.0 edit version.
Thank you. We can take that one down, Tom. Mr. 𝘬𝘪𝕤, have you also formed an opinion about defendants exhibits 712 and 713?
Correct.
Did you prepare a demonstrative that shows?
Your Honor, exhibits 712 and 713 are outside the scope of disclosure.
I can show you if you'd like, Your Honor. All right, could we pull up plaintiff's exhibit 1306, Tom? And Your Honor, this is another video that, oh, can you pause that, please? This is another video that we prepared. It's not published yet, so I'm happy to play it once through. So that
play it once through. This is 1306.
I would just request, what exhibits are they? I'm sorry, Your Honor. What exhibits are these that are in this video? It doesn't say. I don't know.
Yeah, I tried to get my question out a moment ago. Defendant 712 and 713, Your Honor.
12 and 713. All right. Okay, 1306 then will be a demonstrative as identified and be published.
And if we could go ahead and play that, please. Tom? And Mr. 𝘬𝘪𝕤, what's your, what do we see here in this demonstrative?
There's exhibit 712, I believe you have. I'm not sure the date's number, 712 and 713. They're two separate exhibits, except it's the exact same photograph that's been, one's been edited, one hasn't. Or I can't say that one hasn't, but the colors have been modified in an editor.
Objection, Your Honor. Beyond the scope of your ruling, talking about colors. It keeps happening.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. 𝘬𝘪𝕤, did you form an opinion in this case about the authenticity of the photos that you reviewed of Ms. Heard?
Well, first of all, nobody can identify the authenticity of the photos, of any of the photos, marked photos 3, photos 1, or just marked with the operating system number. And the reason is the manner of collection. So these came from an iTunes backup. Now, what is an iTunes backup?
Objection, Your Honor. I'm sorry. You're beyond the scope of your ruling. EXIF metadata, this keeps happening.
Your Honor, may I approach on this one? So, Mr. 𝘬𝘽meister, without going into the specifics, what's your opinion about the authenticity of the photos you received from Ms. Hurd?
Based on the way they were collected, there would be
Objection, Your Honor. We just ruled on this.
I framed my question, I thought, Your Honor, to avoid the issue that you're concerned about. Mr. 𝘬𝘽meister, what's your opinion about the authenticity here?
There's no way for any forensic expert to validate any of these photos.
Thank you very much. No further questions.
Good afternoon, Mr. 𝘬𝘽meister.
Good afternoon.
Your only degree is in political science, correct?
42 years ago, correct.
And you have no degree whatsoever from any academic institution in computer science, correct?
That's correct.
And you have no certifications in computer forensics, correct?
That's correct.
From the opinions you've testified today, you relied on no data except for the embedded EXIF metadata to support those opinions, correct?
Incorrect.
What other data did you rely on for the opinions you've testified to today?
I was trying to explain that you kept it.
What other data did you rely on for the actual opinions you've been able to testify to today besides EXIF metadata?
The type of extraction that was performed? You're asking the question.
For the actual opinions you testified to.
That is what I would use. I would also use vector scopes.
Objection, Your Honor. That was not responsive to my question, Your Honor.
If you want to approach.